We just thought we'd update you about Libya and the whole legal process and what's going on. We're overwhelmed with the support that we're getting, not just locally but internationally. We've had phone calls from senators from the United States actually congratulating us for persevering with this case. Now it shows you, and as we have always said, that if you stand for justice and are prepared to continue the fight for justice, sooner or later you will win through. Now there's still a long way to go. This is far from over, but we're a lot farther than we were a number of months ago, and a lot farther than most people here and in the UK thought we would ever get. But as usual, you will find there is people who are always negative about these situations. Let's just look at what we've done here. We've got to a stage where our own government would not support us, and the American courts, we had a legal case in the American courts where 179 writs was pending in the courts in the States. So much so that the government, the US government, changed the law to exclude us. Now that's how far they had to go to try and basically get rid of us. Now they found that hasn't worked. We've now, through the release of this Libyan and through other things that we're just not in a position to name at the minute, we have been able to pressurise the government in to actually stepping up to the mark now and helping us. People talk about, oh well, okay, this has been done now, but what about this one, or what about that one? Yes, there's weapons came from America. Yes, the Irish government did things, and they need to be held account for them. Now, if other people feel that other things should be held to account and other people should be held to account, well, the door's open for you. Go and do it. But don't condemn us for us putting the effort and work into what we have put it into. This is not about politics for us. This is about what's right and what's wrong. And people talk about holding the IRA to account. Well, I challenge anybody out there to say that they've held the IRA to account more than what we have. If other people feel that enough is not being done to bring other terrorists to account, well, the door's open for you. Work away. Don't let us hold you back. Nobody, but nobody, as far as organisation goes, has put as much effort in to bringing people to account as what we have. I will not be ridiculed or criticised by people who are sitting on their backsides doing nothing. We have held, or are trying to hold, a lot of people to account, but there's only so much we can do. And we will hold the IRA to account sooner or later. We haven't forgot who pulled the triggers. But you have to remember, if the guns hadn't been in their hands, or the explosives, they couldn't have carried out the campaign that they did. The other people have raised the issue about, well, America did this and America did that. Yes, they did. But it wasn't the American government. It was people within the American state. Now, we can't go around holding every individual responsible for their actions. But like in NORAD and them, maybe further down the line, there is things we can do. But there's only so much you can do at a time. And especially if you're just a few local country people who have had their loved ones murdered, we will not stand and be criticised by people in pinstripe suits telling us we should do this or we should do that. If they think it needs done, we'll get out and do it yourselves. Don't ask us to stop doing what we're doing because you feel something else should be done. There's nobody challenging the IRA to the extent that we are. There's a number of writs coming out within the next number of days which will be served on senior IRA men. Now, the people who talk about the IRA and letting them off the hook, what have you done? Have you served any writs on them? Have you held any of them to account? Because if you have, fair play to you. But with that all said, there is a positive. The phone calls and stuff we're getting from around the world is unbelievable. Especially from the States and countries like Israel and Spain, and just basically people seem to be encouraged with the fact that at long last people are getting somewhere when it comes to the ordinary man and woman on the street, that this is who's doing this. This is not our governments. We have been able to put our government in a position where they've finally had to say, well, morally we have to do something here. And we don't know what the outcome is yet. You never know that until it's actually achieved. But one thing I do know, we have rattled quite a few cages, and we intend to rattle a few more.